Assetto Corsa Rally is going to drop the update 0.5, and this one goes a lot deeper than it might look on the surface. There's new content with Greece rally stages in the game now, Elatia and Loutraki. Pretty sure that the Greek people are going to hit me in the head with the pronunciation right now. However, the big story about this update is what's happening underneath the tires. Supernova has done a major overhaul on physics, and the headliner is the bulldozing effect of the gravel. The idea is that as your tire digs and displaces the surface, it actually generates real progressive grip rather than just spinning on top of it. That is a meaningful step towards how gravel actually behaves under a rally car. But on top of that, the tire model itself has been reworked, how load sensitivity scales, how camber actually contributes to grip or kills it, how each surface now has its own dedicated parameter set. It feels more like a system rebuilds than a tweak. Big one here as well, multiplayer is live with proper lobbies up to 16 players, weekly rotating events. That's a big deal for a title still in early release. Before going there, a little bit of a tip. If you want to get a little more performance that worked in my system, go to NVIDIA control panel and play around with the DLSS if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, and also play around with HAGs if you have an older installation of Windows 11. In my case, turning it off, restarting the computer and turning it on has cleared a lot of performance for Assetto Corsa Evo, Le Mans Ultimate, and Assetto Corsa Rally is also impacted. There are many things that changed in terms of driving in this update. Even though that doesn't have a lot of content, it's one rally and two stages. The rallies are basically my favorites, especially this stage, Loutraki stage. It's one that is really good. It's one of that. Essentially, it makes part of the reason why I started loving rally in the first place and loving rally games. You know, reminds me of the rally stages in Dirt Rally. And the reason is these types of rallies are fast, but they're also super technical. There are a lot of little things here and there in the side, like these mounds, these ditches that pepper you around, and you have to be so careful because this makes you have a false sense of security with all the speed that you can carry, especially on the 5 and 4 corners. But then you have the other corners, which are the 3 corners and 2 corners that sometimes feel faster than they are, especially when they come from a 5 into a 3, and then you go into a 3 because there's like essentially a bunch of hazards on the left or on the right. Actually, on the right, when you do the 3 lefts, and then you essentially crash the car. But anyways, I love this because of how fast and technical it can be. And driving with these WRC cars, it's actually quite fun. This kind of section is super. Oops! It's super interesting. Already broke the car there. I have no idea why. Be careful with those mounts. But anyways, in terms of driving, this is much different. It feels definitely an improvement. The force feedback for me feels more connected using my wheel. Since they only implemented true force and full force, especially for club sports or for Fanatec's, feels more direct. The force feedback more connected. There's more details coming through, and there's more responsiveness as well. I think they also improved the performance quite a bit. I've taken out frame gen. Now that I'm recording, I have 76 to 80 FPS. Oh, I forgot about this corner. Yes, wasn't that bad. But in terms of FPS now, with recording 76 and without it is like 90, which is more than enough. And this is at a good quality of settings. I do recommend that you follow those tips that I gave you at the start of the video to help you out. In terms of force feedback, yeah, feels like a completely different thing. It's a whole new world. The force feedback. And the feel of the road feels much more ingrained, but even here, it's not where really you feel most of it. We're gonna have a look at the tarmac driving or road driving after this, because there I believe it's where most of the improvements follow in terms of driving, because they have also changed the way that the grip works, and the car feels more in tune. Before, it's not that I disliked it, it's especially the front-wheel driven cars feel sloppy. Lots of lift-off over steer, and the braking feels like you are locking the tires so easy. Now, I mean, I can't really complain. A lot of people complain about the Peugeot 1.2, for example. Now, I actually feel like the car drives really quite nice. Okay, this one is okay, but coming on the trees. The last sector for me is my favorite sector, but it's so difficult. Because, you know, that false sense of security I was talking about. Especially when going left on 3 or 2s corners. This section, wow, it's downhill. I can imagine this in VR. But then, as you can see, you have all of the hill at the side that makes the car turn around on its head. And it happened to me a few times.
Into 2 left tightens, keep it, and 4 right, 40.
Well, that felt better, but there's a few more of those coming about.
Into 1 right, opens, and 2 right, 80.
Man, when this goes well, it just has this flow. This i20 is such a good car.
3 left, tightens.
It's such a good car.
And 4 left, over crest.
Oh my god, this is one of those I was talking about.
Long, 80. 2 left, tightens.
Watch out with these 2 lefts.
And 2 right, opens, 50.
Oh yes.
4 left.
No trees were armed doing that drift on the corner.
5 right, caution.
Man, it's a completely different game.
And
Feels like.
into 4 right, tightens. Into
Almost
left,
dead. Almost dead over there.
5 right, 40.
That's another one
5 right,
of those corners.
into 3 left long.
We're almost there.
tightens 2 late. Into 1 right. And 2 left, 100.
Man, this feels so good!
Go left.
They have really put the spirit of Richard Burns Rally. This is new, keep left. They have really kept the spirit of Richard Rally. It's such a nice game to drive. Oh, this one, the way they finish this stage is really chef's kiss. Oh man. What a stage! This is lovely, lovely, but we're gonna have a look at the tarmac so I can tell you what is happening. I really wanted to make this test using the road at Alsace with this car because it's one of the first time trials that we do with the 208 here at Alsace. And it's one of the first cars you have contact, and one of the first things you had contact was with this corner. That you always tended to lock the tires, but now you can see it doesn't lock. This happens because according to the change log, there is now more grip in the inside tires, and it creates a completely different driving car. Now there's there's still lift-off over steer, but the lift-off over steer is controlled, and the amount of grip that you actually have under brake is completely different. I mean, you can already see in the way that I'm driving. This is very much flat out, right? That corner at that speed, you would lock the tires and you would start the skids. That doesn't mean that it won't happen. It means that now there is definitely more leeway into doing that. Look at that, the way that I'm driving. I'm driving literally like an idiot, and this car handles it very well. And the force feedback, it's quite interesting. It feels much better, much more alive. I'm driving like I'm complete with food. It's so interesting. There we go. So you can still have, oh my god, there we go. You can still have you know, that.
Into
But
four
that's
right,
because I
90.
was, you know, so sure of myself
Five
that I
right,
just went
don't
out
cut,
and
50.
carried way too much
Flat
speed.
right, 70.
But the way you
Right,
drive is
very
completely
long,
different.
tightens late, 40.
Before, you always had with this car to be on your tippy toes,
Caution, 6 right, into
and now
3 left, tightens.
you can, in certain areas, of course, you still need to be on your tippy toes, otherwise you're going to run out.
And flat right.
But it's completely different. The locks are more your fault. It's not because that I am using,
And 5 right long.
you know,
over
putting
bumps,
pedals or anything. It's going to be
150.
exactly the same thing on yours.
Caution, brake, chicane right, narrows.
Right here. Over here on this chickens, I used to
5 right, 250.
essentially die. I would lock my tires so much. Let's see the next corner. That corner is really, really
Long, over crest,
difficult.
keep in.
It's actually quite fast,
Right
but...
long, 250, over bumps.
Well, see, no more lift-off oversteer. Well, or...
5 left,
I mean, it's
cut,
controlled lift-off
into
oversteer,
right,
it's
right,
not...
tightens, 60, over bumps. Caution, 4 left, don't cut. Into 3 right,
I think we can do this faster.
And 5 left, don't cut.
Oh, yeah, this area. Oh, yes!
Tightens. And 6 left, 100.
Completely different game, guys.
Caution, hairpin left, tightens late, 50. 5 left,
I know.
200, kinks.
Yes. It's a completely different game. Force feedback through is more connected.
Caution, brake, chicane right entry, and 1 left, don't cut.
See, it can still happen,
Opens,
but it's more because you totally cooked the entry, right?
over bridge, 5 right, into hairpin left, 70. 6 left, into 4 right,
And there we go.
300, kinks.
There we go. Much more confident. I've done this once and then I crashed.
Hairpin right. Kink left, 200.
And you can still use the brake and the handbrake to help out. And it still feels more secure. Maybe some people will now say there's too much grip.
Right long,
Likely. Could be also the tires.
4 left, very long,
But
opens.
at least the logic of
5
it
left,
makes
tightens 4, late.
it for a more like
3 right, tightens.
flat out.
Finish.
No! Nice.
And stop.
Makes it for definitely a far more flat out feeling that, you know, makes it so fun in these types of circumstances. Even though we don't have a lot of content on this new update, it's 2 stages or 2 rallies, and the rallies are really, really good. What is important about this update for me, or the impact that I've had, was an increased performance and definitely the force feedback and the handling characteristics of the car that's changed really across the board. But I want to hear from you. Check it out once it comes out and tell us below what you thought of this update.